Career path is a process which employees and employees work together to plan and develop a progression route within an organization. It involves identifying the skills, competencies, and experience. The Deprivation Office has a proposed organizational structure with incurred salary grade Deprivation Officer 1, Deprivation Officer 2, Deprivation Officer 3, Senior Deprivation Officer, Supervising Deprivation Officer, Assistant Deprivation Officer, Chief Deprivation Officer. With the qualification standard, Deprivation Officer is tasked to oversee and manage situations where deprivation of a certain right. Deprivation Officer 2 will provide high quality and effective with efficient business and support the service manager. Deprivation Officer 3 will give additional support in safeguarding adults and service. Senior Deprivation Officer is a higher rank staff responsible for making decisions. Supervising Deprivation Officer responsible for overseeing individual deprived in certain liberty. Assistant Chief Deprivation Officer oversee the management and supervision. It entails leadership and management. Chief Deprivation Officer responsible for overseeing the entire department. By building these skills and qualifications, a deprivation office can significantly advance their career in taking on the role with greater responsibilities and impact within the field of social services and safeguarding of our employees. There is no right and wrong in building your career, but by building it with a sustainable will give you the ability to maintain several aspects of your career and life over the long term. To effectively sustain the role of deprivation officer, you will stay informed and continuing professional development. Thank you.
I am your reporter for the topics, controlling mechanisms, and do's and don'ts of a deprivation officer. Installing a deprivation officer in an agency is necessary because of its crucial role in safeguarding the rights, dignity, and well-being of employees who have vulnerabilities. To ensure sustainability of deprivation officer, we have a good 3 formulated control mechanism to protect the employee and the position itself. First is the approved municipal ordinance creating the deprivation office and its staff pattern and appropriating funds thereof. This will be the backbone of the operation of the deprivation office, inclusive of the human resources and appropriation. Approved 10-year municipal operation plan of deprivation office. This ensures 10-year operation of the office with corresponding budget. Learning and development. Continuous learning will enhance the skill of a deprivation officer, supports his career advancement, and personal growth. Internal control involves segregation of duties by defining roles and responsibilities, assigning appropriate tasks that promotes accountability, prevents fraud, and ensures check and balance within an organization. Data collection and reporting. Analyze the data on the impacts of this work and usage to address gaps, and shows current statistics on the employees suffering mental fatigue, like stress, anxiety, burnout, and more. Performance monitoring and recognition. Clear performance tools shall be established to assess their effectiveness in carrying out their duties and functions. Collaboration and networking. Fostering collaboration with external partners and regulatory bodies strengthens support in retaining the job. Moving forward, here are the do's and don'ts of a deprivation officer. Adherence to RA 6713 or the Code of Conduct and Ethical standards for public officials and employees. Continuous learning through trainings and seminars, proper documentation and reporting of the employees' cases, which shall be kept confidential. Adherence to legal procedure and respect for employees' right. Communicate effectively and encourage open communication. Shows empathy and recognition to employees with improved mental health condition. Seek guidance and support from experts and professionals whenever cases are complex and difficult to deal with. Foster a safer and supportive working environment for the employees. And lastly, create an employees' welfare and wellness program. There are negative actions that a chief probation officer should not do. Abuse of power, discrimination, neglect, conflict of interest, violating rights, favoritism or stigmatism, stereotyping, and hostile attitude. In closing, I would like to borrow a statement from an unknown author. I quote, "A happy work-life balance is not about dividing time equally between your career and personal life. It is about integrating work and life in a way that brings fulfillment, joy, and harmony to both." I hope you have learned something. Thank you.
Applying for a job is one of the most important things to consider when it comes to career development. A career path traditionally implies growth or advancement to higher positions. The career path of a Document Control Officer 1 encompasses more than just the safekeeping of documents. Primary responsibilities involve managing document practices, ensuring accuracy and completeness, and updating and monitoring of files. They play a critical role in maintaining the security and confidentiality of sensitive information, which is a fundamental aspect of many organizations' operations. If a document control officer has already undergone essential trainings, seminars, and workshops such as basic records management, mastering document control, communication and collaborations, training from the National Archives of the Philippines, training for Quality Management System or ISO, then they will be well equipped with comprehensive skills necessary for effective document management. Now I am presenting to you a layout I prepared for the career path for a Document Control Officer 1. So on the screen, we have a table on the qualification standards of position in a data management section. So we have education, experience, eligibility, trainings, competencies according to knowledge, skills, and attitudes, and their corresponding salary grade. We have on the left bottom part of our table is our newly created position, the Document Control Officer 1, and by time he can step into Document Control Officer 2 and soon be promoted into Assistant Document Control Manager, and if given the chance, he will be promoted to the highest rank, which is the Document Control Manager. And with this required qualification standards and diverse training, the Document Control Officer 1 can be positioned to excel and have opportunities for career advancement. Therefore, by stepping into a higher position, it will also imply higher salary benefits and compensation with an increased level of responsibility.
Document control officers play a crucial role in managing and safeguarding an organization's documentation to ensure accuracy, accessibility, and security. So, here are the do's and don'ts to guide the document control officers in performing their duties effectively. So, for the do's, first is secure confidential information. This is to protect sensitive and confidential documents by using password protection, encryption, and access controls to prevent unauthorized access and data breaches. Also, ensure accuracy and consistency. Always verify that documents are accurate and consistent with the organization's standards. This includes checking for errors, ensuring proper formatting, and maintaining uniformity across all documents. The fourth one is conduct regular audit and updates. Conduct regular audits to ensure compliance with regularity requirements and company policies. And next is implement version control. Establish a clear version control system to track changes and revisions. This helps in maintaining an organized records of documents history and ensures that team members are always working with the most up-to-date information.
And the fifth one is organize efficiently. Conduct regular backups of all digital documents to prevent data loss. Store these backups in a secure location. Adhere proper labeling of all physical documents.
There are 5 don'ts of the document control officers. First one is don't neglect security. Never leave sensitive documents unsecured or accessible to unauthorized personnel. This can lead to data breaches and compromised information. Second is don't delay updates. Avoid delaying the updating of records. Outdated information can lead to inefficiencies and potential legal issues. Third one is don't ignore training. Do not overlook the importance of training for yourself and your team. The fourth don't is don't overlook quality control. Don't assume that all documents are error-free. The document control officer must implement quality control measures such as regular audits and reviews to catch and correct any mistakes. And the last one is don't disregard feedback. Do not ignore feedback from colleagues and stakeholders regarding the document management system. Constructive criticism can lead to improvements and more efficient practices. So, by adhering to these do's and don'ts, the document officers can assure that their organization's records are managed effectively, securely, and in compliance with all relevant regulations. This not only enhances operational efficiency, but also protects the integrity and confidentiality of essential information.
What is an audit observation analyst? It is responsible for reviewing, analyzing, and reporting on audit observations within an organization. Their primary role is to assist in the internal audit process by identifying areas of concern or improvement based on audit findings. There are typical responsibilities of an audit observation analyst: reviewing audit reports, analyzing data, documentation, reporting, communication, follow-up, continuous improvement. Overall, an audit observation analyst plays a critical role in helping organizations derive actionable insights from audit observations to improve processes, mitigate risks, and enhance overall performance. Sustaining the position as an audit observation analyst involves not only excelling in the role, but also demonstrating value to the organization. Here are some specific strategies to help maintain the position for the long term. Master data analysis skills, deepen industry knowledge, build strong relationships, stay agile and adaptable, demonstrate value, seek feedback and learning opportunities, maintain ethical standards, stay organized and efficient. Lastly, be proactive and anticipate needs. By implementing these strategies, you can position yourself as a valuable asset to your organization and maintain your role as an audit observation analyst for the long time. Career advancement from an audit observation analyst position to the highest rank in a hierarchical structure typically involves progressive steps in increasing of responsibility, expertise, and leadership, where career paths can vary depending on the organization, industry, and individual goals. Here are the position from Audit Observation Analyst 1 up the highest rank, which is the Chief Audit Observation Executive or Vice President of Internal Observation Audit. Throughout your career progression, continuous learning, professional development, and building strong relationships with colleagues and stakeholders are essential. It is also important to actively seek feedback, mentorship, and networking opportunities to support your career growth aspirations.
I am Jenny Francis Aurelio, together with Ms. Diana May Hera. We are assigned with the Audit Observation Analyst 1. As an Audit Observation Analyst, implementing control mechanisms and measures is crucial to ensuring accurate and effective audits. Here are some key control mechanisms you may consider. First, review and approval process. This implement a formalized process of reviewing and approving audit observation before they are finalized. Second, documentation standards. This establish clear documentation standard for recording audit observations, ensuring that all relevant information is properly documented and supported by evidence. Third, quality assurance procedures. These implement quality assurance procedures to regularly assess the accuracy and completeness of audit observations. Fourth, training and development. This ensures that audit staff are properly trained in identifying, documenting, and reporting audit observations. Fifth, monitoring and follow-up. This establishes a system for monitoring the progress of audit observation and following up on any outstanding issues. We'll tackle about the do's and don'ts of an Audit Observation Analyst 1 as their duties and responsibilities. Those of Audit Observation Analyst. First, thoroughly review and understand audit findings and observation, which means carefully examining the results and conclusions of an audit to gain a complete understanding of the issues identified, their implications, and potential recommendations for improvement. Second, communicate effectively with the auditors and stakeholders to gather necessary information. This involves the clear and efficient exchange of relevant details, data, and insight to support the audit process and ensure that all parties have information they need. Third, analyze data and trends to identify the root causes of audit observations. This involves examining relevant information, pattern, and changes over time to determine the underlying reasons for the issues highlighted to the audit findings. Fourth, document findings accurately and clearly. This means that you need to thoroughly review the document, identify the key information, and then present the findings in a way that it is easy to understand for the intended audience. Fifth, collaborative with relevant teams to develop action plans for addressing audit observation, which means working together with departments or individuals directly involved in the audit findings to create detailed plan of action to rectify any issues identified during the audit process. 6. Follow up on the implementation of corrective actions to ensure effectiveness. This involves monitoring and reviewing the steps taken to address an issue or problem within the process or system.
Hello everyone, and these are the don'ts of an audit observation analyst and why it is important to avoid these practices. First is ignore or dismiss audit findings without proper analysis. By ignoring or dismissing audit findings without proper analysis, the analyst may miss crucial information about potential risk, control weaknesses, compliance issues within the organization. This lack of understanding can lead to overlooking significant problems that could impact the organization's operations, reputation, or financial stability. Next is jump to conclusion without sufficient evidence or investigation. Making assumptions or jumping to conclusions without adequate evidence can lead to errors in judgment. Without a thorough investigation and analysis of the facts, the analyst may misinterpret information, overlook key details, or draw incorrect conclusions, which can result in misguided recommendations or actions. Next is fail to communicate effectively with key stakeholders. An analyst must avoid this because effective communication is crucial for the success of the audit process. Key stakeholders such as management, board members, and employees play a significant role in the audit process. Failure to communicate effectively with them can lead to misunderstanding, lack of cooperation, and ultimately hinder the progress of the audit. Next is delay in documenting or reporting audit observations. Reporting audit observations in a timely manner allows for prompt action to be taken by management or relevant stakeholders to address any issues identified during the audit. Delaying the reporting of observations can result in delays in implementing corrective actions, which may lead to increased risk exposures of the organizations. Next is implement corrective actions without proper planning or approval. This can lead to ineffective solutions that do not address the root causes of the issues identified during the audit. This can result in the recurrence of problems and potential negative impacts on the organization. It is essential to ensure that the actions taken are in line with the strategic direction and priorities of the organization to achieve meaningful and sustainable results. Last is neglect to follow up on the status of corrective actions and their impact. By following up on the corrective actions, the analyst can hold responsible parties accountable for addressing identified issues and taking appropriate measures to resolve them. Neglecting to follow up may result in issues being overlooked or left unresolved, which could compromise the effectiveness of the audit process.